We have all missed Roberto Clemente for many different reasons. He was a wonderful family man, very proud of his home in Puerto Rico, and his many teammates have missed him because they knew he could do it all. He was a true leader. And yes, even as the owners of the club during the years that he played, we missed him. We miss him very much. Of course, because of his many talents on the field, he was a special person. But we also miss him because he loved his Pirates and he loved this city, which he often called his second home, our beloved Pittsburgh. I wish I had the time to share with you the many experiences that I have enjoyed with Roberto on the field and off the field, but I will give Willie Stargell the honor and the opportunity to share perhaps some of those stories. Everyone knew that he could throw behind the runner at first base and pick off a guy who just singled and gave us those thrills. We also knew that he could throw the guy out at third base from way deep in right field. But not everybody knew the Roberto that I knew and that my father knew, and how he felt about his Pirates and this great city. After the 1971 World Series, he wrote a letter to my dad and me, and although it was long, fairly long, and very personal, I'd like to share a small part of that letter with you. And I want you to understand this is a quote. Whenever you don't think I can contribute to our team's success, I will retire. I will never play for any other team, ever. You and the Pirate organization have been good to me and my family, and I thank you. I will never play for any other team. And he signed it, "Be with God." That's the Roberto that my family and I knew, who loved you, the fans, and this great city. That demonstrates to me more than the home run and the MVP award that he got, because he was truly a remarkable man and has earned the title, the Great One. My family and I miss Roberto, miss seeing Vera, and I also miss seeing all of you. Thanks to all of you who have made this great statue possible and for your continued support of the Pirates. God bless you.
Thank you, Dan, very much. And once again, on behalf of Pirate fans everywhere, thank you for your family's commitment to Pittsburgh. Friends, here today representing Major League Baseball and the National League is a gentleman who has developed a close relationship with the Clemente family. It is with great pleasure that I welcome the president of the National League, Len Coleman.
Good afternoon. Roberto Clemente was really much bigger than the baseball field. Roberto transcended baseball into the wider society. His impact was so great on humanity. He was truly a gift from God to humankind. That's not to diminish, certainly, his tremendous skills on the baseball field. We all remember, as Dan just mentioned, that rocket of an arm that would take a ball off that field, off that wall, and throw somebody out at third base or at home plate, or the picture of a batter reaching out across the plate in a high outside fastball and ramming it against the opposite field wall, or his clutch play or certainly his leadership within the locker room. But really, when we look at his legacy, it's the impact that he had on humankind, his contributions to society. We look at both his life and his death, when he gave his life on a relief mission to Nicaragua. And what Roberto saw and knew was important was the fulfillment, the totality of the human spirit. And he lived his life that way, and he attempted to extend his life and all of his gifts and everything that he had to share to people all around this world. I think we see today that his life lives on. I've had the pleasure of going to Puerto Rico and visiting Sports City. And when I see the beaming faces at Sports City, which his wife, Vera, is carrying on with the young people in that society, or here in Pittsburgh today, with Roberto Jr., now coming back and starting reviving baseball in the inner cities program, where he's helping to lift young people. Or indeed, the specter of Mrs. Chamorro, the president of Nicaragua, coming to Pittsburgh 20-something years after Roberto's demise, to be able to once again acknowledge his human spirit. These are the important things about life. Roberto was a great Pirate. I will tell you, he is an eternal all-star for the National League, and we salute him greatly. Thank you, Roberto.
Thank you very much, Mr. Coleman. When a player becomes a major leaguer, be it for 2 days or 2 years or 2 decades, he becomes a member of a select fraternity. He has realized a dream, and that cherished moment in the spotlight. Over 24 former major leaguers are here today to help us remember the brightest and best moments they witnessed while Roberto was in that spotlight. I'd like to introduce you to them now, and I ask that each player stand as he is introduced and remain standing. Ladies and gentlemen, Lloyd Merritt, Scott Thompson, Tom Walker, Jim Sadowski, Joe Lynette, Ron Netchai, Bobby Del Greco, Ronnie Klein, Don Schwall, Bob Perkey, Jose Pagan, Frank Thomas, Al Oliver, Bob Robertson, Rennie Stennett, Doc Ellis, Elroy Face, Bob Friend, Nellie Briles, Dave Justy, Steve Blass, Manny Sanguian, Milt May, former Pirate manager Bill Verdon, and ladies and gentlemen, what great leadership this gentleman and Danny Murtaugh provided for our ball club for so many years. Ladies and gentlemen, the former general manager of the Pittsburgh Pirates, Mr. Joe L. Brown. And the gentleman who is providing us with the Pirates of '94 and the Pirates of the years to come, General Manager Cam Bonifay. And with us today to officially represent the 1994 Pittsburgh Pirates, a young man who grew up in the Roberto Clemente neighborhood many years ago, ladies and gentlemen, and I know how proud he is to be wearing the Pirate uniform today and taking on many occasions that spot in right field. Orlando Merced. Before I introduce our next speaker, walk with me through the nearly 11 decades of Pirate baseball and recall for just a moment the great players who have proudly worn the Pirate uniforms in addition to those I've already introduced. Names like Honus Wagner and Max Carey and Pie Traynor, Archie Vaughan, Paul and Lloyd Wainer, and Kai Kyler. Remember Fred Clark and Danny Murtaugh, and Bill Mazeroski, and Ralph Kiner. And certainly remember this day the one and only true voice of the Pirates, Bob Prince. And remember Roberto Clemente, and of course, remember Pops. Here is a man who was asked to carry on the rich traditions of the Pirate family after Roberto died. He did so in a majestic way. His name is listed at the top of the Pirates' home run chart, but more importantly, his name is revered in the hearts of Pirate fans. Ladies and gentlemen, batting fourth and playing first base, number 8, Willie Stargell.
Thank you. Thank you. Needless to say, what a tremendous honor it is to be here today. And as Lanny was introducing all of our former teammates and Roberto's, I'd have to say that each and every one of us are very proud to have rubbed shoulders and been able to benefit greatly from Roberto. Roberto brought a certain elegance to the game that he didn't have to tell us how to go out and play. We knew that if Roberto was going to go out and play the way he played Monday through Sunday with the type of energy that he provided every day, then that was something that we had to do as well. So he taught us an awful lot about the integrity of the game. More importantly, he passed on the formula for winning. And with that, he showed us, and I remember, and I'm sure some of our other 71 teammates would say, and have heard Roberto say at one particular point in 71, that if we got to the World Series, he would make sure we won it as a result of his performances. To me, it was sad because the world never really got a chance to see and appreciate Roberto as the city of Pittsburgh and many of his teammates had an opportunity to do. What Roberto did was just provided so much in terms of the pride that he had for the game, the integrity, and most of all, winning. He would do anything to win. One case in point, and I'll be brief about this, in one of our games in '79, Roberto led off the inning. It was a check swing back to Mike Cuellar. He took his time getting to the ball. Roberto was running like it was a close play at first, where most players throw up their helmets and their bats and casually go to first base. Not Roberto. Roberto was running all out like his life depended on it. Mike Cuellar looked up and saw Roberto hustling, hurried the throw, went down right field line. He eventually walked myself. Bob Robinson was given the bunt sign, which he ignored, and hit a 3-run homer. Bobby. Had not it been for the type of energy that Roberto put in, that was just one of many incidents. But we, as players and teammates, feel that we are much better individuals as a result of being around Roberto. And to me, today is just a tremendous honor for all of us to be able to say that Roberto has a stature exactly where it belongs, where he gave his heart and soul. And it's so wonderful to see his family to enjoy it, including myself. Thank you very much.
Baseball world was introduced to you. Now forevermore we'll remember the one, a master of the game, second to none. In the world you left behind, your light still shines. Those thrills you brought the crowd so many times, but perhaps your greatest gift of all was the love you gave. That's what made you immortal. Confident hero, so clear were your dreams. This statue of a man, it's more than a man. We see. Can you see us here today? The joy within our hearts, this is our way of saying thanks to one strong man with the gentlest of hearts. Confident hero, so clear were your dreams, a promise of hope, the grace of great things. As we stand before this statue of a man, it's more than a man. We see. so much.